Here I am, Leon C., aka Morpheus. And as you saw the title to this video, I have several interesting things to give unto you before I get into the message that I'm going to deliver unto you and my emailers that have requested for this video. Okay. Before I get started, I was going to put it up in the dialogue, but I got my tablet out here to read it from here to give it to you because, of course, I ran out of time to do so. But maybe another video in a connection with this one, I would actually put it up on display where you can read it for yourself and not to think that I'm actually making this up by reading it in my own words. So this is according to some of my other videos that a lot of you followers have just recently probably listened to, and some of the other ones where you wanted to see where I get some of this information from. Now I know you can't see it right now on the tablet because it's kind of bright outside if you see the sun that's glaring. So I have no choice but to read it to you anyway. But I'm going to do so, and as I do so, I'm going to explain some of those things to you, why they have become a good source, not only of information, but of proof to give to you that it is actually happening around us. We're just not paying attention to it. Now, I talked about how some pastors want to reel you back into religion and not push you into reality. Okay? And a lot of you are not religious anyway. A lot of you are already out of the Christianity or Baptist or whatever your religion may be. Okay? Where you are actually thinking for yourself. So this is what those individuals would consider you to actually take into account. That you know yourself, my American people, as I am here to empower you, is to so you can remain in power and take control of your soul and your mind. But others still think that you are unaware of the deceptions that have been blindfolding us for many years. They still think that you don't know about the facts and the truth. So here's one pastor. He says, I'm not going to say no names. I'm just going to say the statement and let you do the rest. It is unacceptable. It is ungodly for anyone to ascribe weakness to religion or God. Slow down. Weakness to religion or God. I love people. I make this video for people. I made this video because I am your voice. When you email, I produce. We reciprocate here. Okay? You and I have experienced and read and seen mudslides, trains derail, airplanes fly and fall, children who are born with birth defects, innocent people being hurt every single day. Do you understand? How could you, as a parent, a father, a mother, husband, a wife, if you was holding God or your sense of God accountable for something that happens that could be prevented, okay, you would actually say that was a failure or a falter when you prayed consistently for that thing not to happen. That's not you claiming for your sense of God to be weak. That's whatever you believe in, whatever your religion is at the time, whatever your station of power is, that is the problem, not the very fact that the situation have happened. Like if I was a police officer, I show up at your door and you are in a scuffle with somebody and they have a knife. You're asking Morpheus, the police officer, to help you in that situation, to unarm him, to save you, and to cease, okay, the drama, the drastic situation, and to save you, to save the lives and prevent any further violence, right? So you are dependent on me to do something. If I go in there and whatever who's assaulting you beat you down anyway and stab you anyway or whatever else, okay? And knocks me down at the same time, and I can't stop them, okay? You know, I'm incompetent, or basically I'm just standing there and not doing anything at all, okay? That's not a form of power. That is a form of weakness. So you would hold me accountable, especially if I do have the ability and I have the position as sergeant or this great police officer, right? That I'm well known with 5 stars, and I just so happen to stand at your door and watch you get beat up. You have a right to hold what you believe in accountable. You have the right to hold your religion or your sense of God accountable if you are putting your whole heart and soul into that belief system. You understand? Because it is a reciprocating factor. People that talk like that, okay, are actually telling you that they want you to continue to put your faith into something and get nothing out of it. Next. Now, this is according to technology that I tell you about that's destructive. Because I have explained it to you in my other videos that we are going too far in technology because we are allowing it to be our mind. We are allowing technology to think for us. We are allowing technology to assume position where we should be assuming a position. According to one of my other videos, that's why I have to bring this up, because a lot of you who have not been watching my other videos, you may not understand this. But if you have watched several of my other videos, okay, this video right here is a golden challenge for you because it's a reflection of what I talked about. I'm reading from the news here. I'm reading from reporters here. I'm reading from facts. Okay. No, I'm not going to go into the detail and read it from page to page to page to page. Okay. Because it'd be too long. I could put that on video. But I can bring this to you and say, this is actually happening. What Morpheus is saying is actually happening. Some of y'all are just like this. Yeah. Okay. Right. This is why I tell you, it's all about learning how to bring those brick walls down. When you are protecting yourself with cameras and computers and, you know, security, all that type of stuff, it's supposed to be for a parry for a short amount of time. When you keep it up too long, because it's technology, listen, technology is fallible. Technology is not perfect. Technology has the ability to be wrong. It has the ability to have loopholes, wormholes, what do you call that thing? Spyware. Okay, spyware. Okay, it has all those things that have malicious viruses on purpose that are turned against you. But y'all don't comprehend that, okay? Because you depend so much on it, and you want to keep building yourself up in your electronical computer grave. Now here, let me read something for you. Secret recording device found in hotel rooms at Minneapolis Hyatt Regency. And some of you know that's not the only time. That's been happening constantly, right? Y'all love technology. Let's keep going. An 8-year-old girl had a terrifying exchange with a stranger after he hacked her family's Ring camera. He hacked her camera. Okay? He hacked it. This your 18-year-old daughter or your 9-year-old son. Let's go further, because some of y'all still ain't convinced. New Orleans declares state of emergency following a cyber attack. And you all know that's not the first cyber attack we had. Now, I don't have time to bring up all the information as to how many of there, what happened, and when happened. Okay? Do your research and you figure that out for yourself. I'm just a messenger to drop the seed to empower you, to be behind you, because I am your power to give you the strength you need to continue in this America or this world construct, okay, successfully. To be aware. because we are using the very things that we thought was good for us as bad for us, because what I tell you in my other video, we are doing too much. Anything that's an oversurge or overdone can be turned or transformed to be something bad. Like there's certain amount of alcohol that will be good for you to thin out your blood, or maybe for a nightcap, or sometimes when you're at a social circle or you're sitting around a ballroom or something like that, you may drink some wine or something like that just for leisure. Okay? But if you consecutively drink on that wine, and you drinking all night, you just drinking, no limits, right? What happened? Of course, you get tipsy, then you get drunk, then you start passing out, you start getting sick, and the story keeps going on and on and on and on. That's the same with technology. It's used only for a little bit. Like I got this tablet right now. What am I using it for? For what it's made for. Transfer of information to give to you. What am I using this camera for? To speak to you, to talk to you, to broadband this information to help you at far reaches. Am I using it for anything else? No, it's just right here. Okay? It's not sitting in my front porch, even though it could, maybe it's not sitting in my house, beaming down. No. It's just for something very simple. Okay. But let's go further. They are now declaring that the infotainment center, this is how smart we are. It's not an insult. Just follow me as Morpheus. First of all, let me go ahead and give y'all that red pill. All right, there you go. Check this out. They are now declaring that the infotainment center in some of these newer vehicles are considered to be a distraction. No, really? You figured that out? How long did it take you? All that technology you see in the dashboard, where you got to push the button to figure out what movie and what music you're going to listen to, basically, the heater system, turn it down, turn it up, and all that type of stuff. And, you're able to flip the infotainment center around. You have the navigation system and stuff like that. It's like a little bitty computer in your face. So you driving and you got this computer sitting right here next to you. It's not going to be distracting. Wow, how intelligent we are as automakers and engineers, where we engineer stupidity. Sorry, it's just the facts. Because it's simple to just turn on the knob and say, okay, heater up, heater down. Radio on, radio off. Right? CD out. Right? Okay? You got knobs, you got manual ways of doing things. It was simple. But now you got this computer infotainment center where you got 5, I think, different types of apps or something you can put in there. You can pretty much entertain yourself for a good amount of time while you're driving. Most times, you would think the infotainment center may be for your passengers, which would make sense, or those who get high-end luxury vehicles, like the high-end luxury Volvo. I think it's called the executive package or something like that. But it was a really nice SUV. And you got all these amenities and luxuries for the passengers, right? Most times, though, when people buy something like that, it's not just for the passengers, it's for themselves. Okay, so I can imagine the passenger messing with the infotainment center, but of course, as what most men are, or most American men will be like, you mess with my infotainment center, this is my car, hands off, that sort of thing. So it's them that have to keep going like this back and forth from the steering wheel to the infotainment center. Steering wheel, infotainment center. Because I'm going to tell you something. Most of you did not sit around the engineering shop and say, oh, I would like this I would like this in the car. Okay. They just decided it for you. Okay. And even if they did that, okay, good job. I'm happy for you. I wasn't at there, because if I had a choice, if I was there and they said, oh, we're going to remove the stereo knobs, we're going to remove the climate knobs, and we're just going to have it all computerized, I would tell them to take that somewhere else. That in my country, how I drive, I am natural. Give me some knobs, because knobs have always worked. It was not a distraction. Okay. Now you got this infotainment center. Now you got the Bluetooth connect to. Now you got all these bright buttons and things to deal with. Okay. While people are still doing this every single day while they're driving. Tell me I'm a lie. Tell me I am a lie. So now they're like, oh, we've just now figured out it is a distraction. How many cars ago did that take you to figure that out? Like we just, okay, because y'all want to be, listen, want to be so technical that we are burying ourselves in technology. Then all of a sudden, when it causes a calamity, I told you Morpheus cares about lives. I care about people. That's why I created this channel. This channel is for the American people. I care about them. You understand? And when we make stupid stuff that causes people, after the fact, after the results, after collision happened, after the so-called psychologists and thinkers decide to get around a table and figure it out, after 100,000 cars of that same model has been produced, now they finally saying, wait a minute, that's a distraction. How come you didn't think about it before they was building it and creating it, when it was on advertisement? Let's get back to this. Remember what I talked about in my other videos about ages? How the younger kids are considered now as criminals and they are being tried as adults, and the prison pipeline is not the school anymore. Okay? It's not from school. It's still happening. It's not just from school to prison. Now it's from home to prison because of parents at home, or the lack of parents at home. So let's read on how old these kids are getting. A 13-year-old boy, man, it would be so nice if y'all can see it. I'm gonna try anyway. Look at this. I'm gonna try to do that for you. Look at that. Let me try to do that for you. I mean, just if you can. Okay? So you know I'm not making this up. A 13-year-old boy has been arrested in connection with the stabbing of a Manhattan student in a park. Not a school, in a park. Now, remember what I told you also about how we are, now this might piss some of you off, because whoever watched my video, and I'm going to give you the name of it, and I'm going to bear with me here, okay? The video is called, what I want y'all to look at when it comes to a lot of this technology that I talk about, it's called The Terminating Machine is Alive. The Terminating Machine is Alive. And in that one, I always talk about, and I did talk about, my expression called, things just don't happen. And in that video, just to give you a little Easter egg, if you decide to go back and watch it, if you haven't watched it, I talk about how the failing human, or the average person nowadays, because we need to hurry up and produce things so fast, and according to the recalls that we've been having, according to the machineries, according to, I ain't gonna say no names of car companies, but some of you know them, major car companies who have been creating cars that has so much faulty issues in them, okay, that it has caused lives. Then after maybe, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of them are produced, and then finally they decide to say, oh, we need to recall this automobile because, listen, this is the facts. How and why would 5, 6, 7, 8, 20, or 50 people complain about this certain flaw in a car after it's being produced, right? Why not? How come they did not catch that before it got off the production line? Aren't they supposed to test these cars first? The fact is, a lot of things deteriorate over time. They have these so-called supercomputers that aren't really as super as you think they are. because the true supercomputer is right here. That's your supercomputer. Okay? There's algorithms. There's mathematic equations that they can do a simulated test to see how long this item can endure for a certain amount of time. Okay? But if they went by that system, it was flawed because they had to get secondary word of mouth, which is called test subjects, which are generally the buyers of the product. So after a couple of deaths, after a few fatalities, after a few complaints from the insurance companies, after the attorneys and the lawyers tell you, oh, the problem was this thing in the car, now the item or the complaint is shipped to the general manufacturer or the manufacturers, now they're like, oh, we did make something wrong in it. Oops. Again, like the Boeing 737. Okay? But don't take my word for it. Let me read something for you that I've just explained to you how they just want something fast. We gotta hurry up and put it together. The more you rush to build something, the less quality it's going to be. They're like, oh, we need to have 100,000 of this thing, right? What makes you think that something's not going to go wrong? But because we are in such a demanding society, okay, because we want it so fast, we want it right now. The lives of a few people who are lost because of this failed product don't mean a thing. It means something to Morpheus. I fight for the life of people. I don't appreciate my American people becoming lab rats for products from people who want to build something just because the government says hurry up, or just because we got to make it, we got a deadline, we got a ceiling to fulfill. Here we go. As Boeing halts, I'm going to give you the beginning headline. You're going to have to do the reading yourself. Okay? But I did my reading, so I know this is actual. As Boeing halts MAX line, Airbus can't make jets fast enough. And then they go to talk about how they need to produce certain parts and stuff. And they just they need the parts, they need the money, they need the resources. So it's like, come on, we got to do this. Come on. So it's another rush job. Right? I just told y'all in the other video, the Terminating Machine is alive, that's where flaws come from. Because they got all this pressure, they don't have the right type of money, they don't have the resources, like, oh, we don't want to sit back and think about this until. Off of that rant. Now to the next thing, my American people. I'm not going to say no names, and I'm not going to bash who these pastors are. Okay, I don't do that. This channel is about empowerment. I'm just trying to tell you, if you encounter the situation, if you believe them, that's your business. Okay? But if you have a mind of your own and you are interested in elevating your strength and empowerment to liberate your mind and spirit, you are in the right channel because I am for you. This pastor said, listen, I'm going to leave this to y'all, okay? Because I know exactly what y'all going to say. But some of you Christians, you can think whatever you want to think. But a lot of you just keep the thought to yourself. Because I'm just going to there's some things I can't say on this channel. But I'm pretty sure what's going to be going through your mind. They say this. This pastor proposes faith in Christ as solution to man's problem. So faith in Christ is the solution to man's problems. I thought a book was. I thought this was. I thought communication was. I thought trust was. Here we go. I know you might not be able to see it, but I'm going to bring this to you. This is the part I was talking about. I'm just going to keep it very simple. About the components of distracted driving and these. I don't know if you could see it, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I don't know if you're able to see it, but it's probably very faded there, a little bit down there. Okay, if you read that headline, you probably already know everything about it, right? Here's another one for you about computers. For some of you who still ain't convinced, you're not convinced yet. You need more evidence. Morpheus is going to give you some more evidence. New Orleans shuts off computers after cyber attack. Following two big incidences in Louisiana that year. After a series of widespread cyber attacks in Louisiana, which led to two statewide emergency declarations that year, and they continue to talk about it. But we still have our cybernetic lifestyle. Yeah. It's like, it don't matter. Like a couple of years ago, I think someone hacked a Target store. I know a lot of you probably are familiar with that. It's in history where somebody have hacked a Target store and actually have taken or viewed everyone's credit card that they used in that store at the time. When are y'all going to wake up? Okay? I'm not saying that the human race have to go back to paper and pencil. No. Morpheus is telling you that there is a balance somewhere where you only depend so far on technology and you stop and you do the rest with your own thinking, your paper and pencil, and saying, okay, now we're going to be safe about this. I'm not going to put it on card. You want $1 bill? Here's $1. Not my card or information or social security and all that stuff. No. Y'all just, they said we can use it, so here we go. Use your card on everything. Okay? I'm going to put the card in this. I'm going to put the card in that. We're going to stop that right there because we can go on and on in this. Okay? Before I get done with that, I was going to go ahead and add a different subject, but I'm going to add this in the end since I have it out for you. I'm going to tell you what the gods are that are real. Okay? Everyone, when they think of God, they think of this nice person who have created the heavens and the earth, right? That is your perception of what God is. I'm going to tell you the different forms of God. God doesn't necessarily mean that you're good. God is considered of a source of power. What did I say? Source of power. I guess that definitely goes against what that pastor said, saying you shouldn't call God weak. Oh, he's powerful, right? So I'm going to reach in my pocket right now and I'll pull out $2 million in front of everybody on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to do it right now. You know, in the name of God, here I am. I'm going to go ahead and pull out $2 million right here in front of everybody. Bang! No. I just did it, didn't I? Oh, you want me to get on my knees first, right? And go, oh, ma. Get real. Here's the forms of God or gods. The number one God that men worship. I just said it. money. You can consider these the forms of gods. Number 2 is fame, being famous, living by reputation, that is, and popularity contests because you need to be known. That's a form of God. Next is attention whoring, because again, you need that attention. You need that focus. You need to feel like you are important. That's a form of godness. Fourth, gossip. That's right. Why? Loose tongue, nonsense. Gossip has negative power. Gossip is a form of God. Most people really do all these things and don't know it, thinking that God is just this one person who created heavens and earth. You don't even know what God is. It's a form of power and a sense of authority. And most of these things is the front runner and the priority in a lot of people's lives. Number 5 is envy and animosity. Why? Because it creates unnecessary hatred. Number 6, family ties. Toxic. All it means is a gang, a team, or grouping up. Sometimes that can be a priority in someone's life, and they don't know it's a form of God. They worship it. Because without it, there'll be nothing. Hello? Number 7, television is a form of God. People need to sit down and be entertained. They need Netflix. Okay? They need Hulu. They need to sit there and just be entertained and not study anything. This, ladies and gentlemen, is not entertaining. This is a lecture. This is teaching. This is sharing of real life information to support you and empower you. It's the next stage up of education. It educates your mind and it empowers your spirit. Television doesn't do that. It entertains you. Next form of God is drugs and narcotics. That's right. I'm not bashing y'all, but this is a form of God. Because if you don't have it, okay, you will feel like it's the end of the world. And why? Because a lot of it conducts a lot on your mind, and it takes a control of your spirit. Control of your spirit. Number 9, religion. Religion is not spirituality. Religion is a form of belief, depending on how far it goes. It's almost like a cult. A cult is just a short word of saying culturification or culture. It's not necessarily bad. You can cultivate anything. You can cultivate your car, okay, to modify it as you see fit. Okay, you culturify are cultures that you would do in science. You pull out cultures from this incubation. But religion itself is not about spirituality. It's a belief system, not a I know system. It's not, okay, here's the facts, this is that, you can go home and practice it and do it. It's not like that. It's believe and have faith that Morpheus right now is the president. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Whatever you smoke, you need to put that down. Next. Number 10, vanity. The devil's greatest power and trick is vanity. So you can buy stuff. having stuff, possessions, just possess. You just want everything. Vanity because it looks good. It's made out of gold and you cherish shiny rocks as if it's going to save your life. I don't understand that. Yeah, just that your preference, but you know, I mean, if I was to get married to somebody, and I'm not apparently, and I won't, okay. But if I was a blue pill beta guy and I wanted to get married and she was going to buy me a ring, okay, I don't want this ring on my finger. I would prefer, okay, I would prefer the money instead. I had to pause. I thought the camera stopped working. So anyway, I got to speed this up. So I might be running out of juice. I don't know. 11. A form of power is, a form of God is power and control. That can also be a form of God, or a God that you worship that you don't see, but it's there. Because the thrill of power and saying or staying on the subjects of things or subjecting things is a thrill. Makes you feel good about yourself. Yeah, God power, right? Number 12, self-righteousness is a form of God. Yes, it is. Why, Morpheus? Because you never want to be seen as wrong and hate corrections. You know a self-righteous person right off the bat when you're trying to tell us something that makes sense. Now, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I remember I had a conversation with somebody about it wasn't their religion. It was just a simple conversation, right? And I was just bringing down the facts like I gave to you. And I'm like, here, I want to show you this. Let me show you this. Let me show you some things, right? And they're like, no, I don't want to hear it. I'm right no matter what you say. Like, can't you have a simple debate? If you're right, okay. I'm not mad at you. If Morpheus is wrong, Morpheus is wrong. I'm learning too. I don't mind learning. So I'm like, okay, I'm just presenting some facts to you. Let's have a conversation about it. Okay. And I don't want to. No, I'm right. I'm like, okay, if you're right, why are you right? They couldn't even say it. They're like, no, because I'm used to this way. This is how I'm going to live. This is what I've been doing. I don't care. Self-righteousness. But that's the issue in Bane for them, because you can't live like that. You got to live being open-minded. You got to live by the perspectives of facts, by researching that, where you know when you step out there, it's exactly what it is. Okay? But when you just go out there and you're not doing your necessary research, or you're not comprehending what's actually going on, and you can't simply debate, and you have no position of logic to speak what you think you know, okay, then they run right to the brick wall, 100 miles per hour, and everybody know what's going to happen then. Okay, then that will be their goal. That means that was their choice in the end. Okay, it's like sometimes when you see a collision, and I have a thing that I talk about with some people because I talk to a lot of people, and they'll say, oh, I can't believe that happened. Oh, I feel sorry for them. And when I begin to hear the story as how it happened, that they was driving 90 miles per hour and they lost control, or they were drinking and they was driving, I say that was their goal. That's what they wanted to do. You shouldn't be sad for them. You should rejoice and be happy for them, because that was their goal. When you have knowledge before you, when you have the ability to use your thinking, and you depend on these computers which are being hacked today, right? You got people telling you that the technology in the car is fallible, or it's a distraction, okay? You got me telling you that these kids are being raised up wrong, and they are being younger. They're younger, and 12-year-olds are even acting out now. I've spoken to a mother, I say no names here, who her daughter literally told her older sister that she wanted to stab her. Her mom didn't even know where she got that from. Okay? But I know where she got that from, right? Y'all do too. The programming of the environment, TV, okay, cartoons, certain music, and the abandonment of a quality home. So that means we are working towards our demise. My book would be a contradictory if I didn't create this video. This video actually goes in line with the title itself of my book called America 2020 Must Rise or Fall Hard. Why are we falling? We're falling because these little bitty things I'm actually trying to tell you is really happening. I'm trying to fight to make you aware that we need to do something about this. And the root of it is not this. It's us. It's what we are deciding to do right now that are changing things, are condoning it. So that means, listen, my American people, that means when you don't do anything about what Morpheus is saying, when you do nothing about it, it's okay. I want more computers. I want more security. Give it to me. Even though you know it can be hacked and you got this camera in your daughter's bedroom where 1,000 other hackers can get to it, but you're so smart, right? Okay, you got it all made. Got all these antivirus systems as if the hackers don't know about it. You're great, right? And then something happens, that means you work towards it. Just like that person driving 100 miles per hour. Okay, oh, I can do it. I can do it. I'm skillful. They never played a car video game in their life, apparently, because they wouldn't be driving that fast if they did. Hello. Don't know anything about a Gran Turismo. Never played Forza. Don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation with any type of car dynamics in it of a simulator that'll tell you how you can fishtail, how you can oversteer, how you can understeer, how your perception has to be like a snap of a dime. Okay? It's snap it. You can't even think about it. You got to be so fast. Okay, I know where I'm going. But a lot of people think, oh, I'm so great because I'm in this very light Pontiac or this Cadillac. Oh, I'm in my Porsche. Or, I'm in my Camaro. I can do this, man. Yeah, I can. This Camaro got some power in it, man. Let's gun it. And they gun themselves right into the brick wall. That means they worked towards that. When they woke up in the morning, that was their goal. Your goal may be to get to work, to go to McDonald's somewhere. Please don't do that. But if that's what you want to do, so be it. Your goal may be to just go to the grocery store or go pick up your child. Their goal was not to make it home. Their goal was to be on the side of the road, upside down, or in twisted metal. Because they don't listen to people like me, or probably people like you. You're like, no, man, slow down, man. Put the cell phone down, man. No, man, what are you doing? You can get there. Take your time. Take it. You'll be there, man. Take your time. That's the same as soldiers that go to war. That's the same as officers that have to go out there on the streets. That's the same as anyone who's in these so-called professional positions. They got to be trained before they do that. Officers have to be trained before they drive as fast as they do to get where they need. They have to be trained to do that. They got to be trained to drive the motorcycles they drive when they're driving in line to get where they need to be. I know that because I've seen it myself. They was in my town one time with this motorcycle barrage, or what do you call it? This caravan, and they were doing their little practice. They was practicing. Okay, most of us American people, we haven't even sat down in a practice session to know what happens if you hydroplane or if you get wind underneath your car. But we get out there and, oh, I can do it. That's the same as the dangers of technology. That's the same of why we're not comprehending that our kids are becoming criminals at a younger age because we're not focusing on the nature of what's going on, because we're not prepared for it. We're not prepared for it. We're not trained for what we are actually preparing. We are. Okay, let me take that. Let me go back a little bit. We are preparing for it. We're preparing for a catastrophe. That's what we're preparing for. It may be different than when you're driving 100 miles per hour. Of course, you're out of your mind at that time. Okay, you are working for suicide. That's all you're doing. Okay, but when it comes to these detailed things like the technology, like your lifestyle, like your kids, like parents need to be together. It should be mommy and daddy. No buts about it. Once you have a child, that's it. Let's come together and do it right. But because we're so selfish, right? We're like, oh, let me just pray about it. The mom's like, let me pray about it, that God's going to bring me a good man. Let me pray about it. But yet I'm not going to prepare myself to be a good woman for whatever man, if he was to come into my life. I'm just going to make him accept me for who I am. And most guys who are Maytal and Red Pill, they're going to be like, I don't think so. I don't need to be with you. I'm not going to be with you. So she'll be alone all that time. Oh, God, please. And she's praying on her knees. But she don't know what she's doing for herself. She don't know what she is doing. That could be the problem and the cause. So then when the catastrophe erupts, it's like, oh, what happened? I didn't know about this. Because what is she not doing? She's watching Netflix. And she don't know anything about Morpheus. She don't know anything about you. She haven't even studied any other channel. She's just there. Because she feels entitled. Or the same as him, if it came down to the situation. So these kids grow up without the proper information, because whatever she gets, she should give to him. You actually think a lot of these mothers or single parents or broken homes are watching videos like this? You really think that? Because if they did, they would think twice. All that stuff will start ceasing because they have another voice. They have true power. Not weak prayers. Not, I'm going to go to the ministry for this. I'm going to just bend on. No. Facts is knowledge that you are reciprocating. You get it. You receive it. You know it. You don't pray about it. You get it. You receive it. You know it. And you begin to act on it. When a person's not acting on the catastrophe that we are witnessing here in our American family, my American people, that means they have not received the knowledge. And some of them just don't care, because their goal is to run right into that wall 100%, 100 miles per hour, 100% ignoring what Morpheus just got through telling you that is happening. I didn't make that up. We can prevent this stuff from happening if we start taking action and receiving proper information and facts, not being entertained. This is our video. If you like it, you're liking your own video. You subscribe it, you're subscribing your own video. You're concerned about children, family, and these crazy technologies and these false ways of thinking and twisted, weakened mentality, then you should subscribe, because it's your video as well. When you give it to somebody else, you're giving them your video as to how you feel. Because we don't want that to be our family, our friend, our wife, or our children. Because listen, I can guarantee you, as soon as it happened, just like all the rest of them, you're going to be on the front page of the news talking about the mug shots and everything. I didn't know that happened. Oh, and embarrassed as hell. Start being human beings again. You got my book down there, 2020 America, Rise or Fall Hard. Share this video with so many people as you can, okay? Get their mind right.